Welcome to the Ringer Royal Rumble show. Guys, are you here with me now?
Woo! I'm here, man.
All right, I'm David Shoemaker, a.k.a. The Masked Man. I'm joined by the King of Sad Style, Hollywood, Dan St. Germain.
Good to be here. You
And
just
with
Goldberg that intro.
I hit my head on the wall before we started. And I'm here, and Dave Schilling, too. We're working on a new nickname for him. Guys, if you want to tweet me suggestions, the options right now are the Merced Madman, Intellectual Chocolate, and the Man That Levity Forgot. So hit us on Twitter.
Levity?
And yeah, that's all right.
So funny.
So the second one's winning.
Yeah.
That's what that means.
Hashtag Ringer Rumble if you want to send us questions. We are going to get into talking about this Royal Rumble, which is going on live right now, just off camera for us. Guys, so far, the SmackDown women's match has already happened. Naomi won.
Yep.
Do you have any feelings about that at all?
No, I do not, David.
More importantly, as Sasha Banks and Nia Jax match just came to a close, how much backstage... I think Nia Jax just won. How much backstage heat must Sasha have on her right now for them to interrupt her Royal Rumble match with a commercial for the Royal Rumble?
And then a video game, mobile video game.
It's insane. She must have done, I don't know, what do you think she did?
Yeah, I have no idea.
Do you think she made fun of, Vince's, old bodybuilding federation?
The WBF, Ico Pro jokes.
She ironically wore an Ico Pro shirt. Okay, we got to get to real predictions about this event because the Royal Rumble is an enormous event. It's the beginning of WrestleMania season. We're on the road and all that stuff. I think the most interesting question for me, as we look at the show from a sort of bird's eye view perspective, is: will the Rumble match itself be the main event, or are they going to do the thing where they throw a title match on afterwards so that everyone will stop paying attention?
Cena Styles, the last match. You heard it here first.
Really?
I have sources in No, I don't. No, zero sources.
But you really think Cena Styles is going
so.
on last? All right, I think that's. If you want to close the show with a big match, that's a match with the sort of built-in gravitas that doesn't have as much to sort of earn between the bells that Owens Reigns might.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Neville and that dancing bear guy. The dancing bear's
Swan?
the porno. Rick Swan. The worst wrestling name I've ever heard. It sounds like the guy who seduces your mom on a Carnival cruise.
I will say, yeah, the first 10 times I heard of Rich Swann, years ago, I just could I did not. That was not who I was imagining.
Doesn't he have wings on his trunks too? Like little tiny wings on the side? I think so.
Well, he'll be flying out of the title picture after Neville buries him.
The Cruiserweight division, both in WWE and beyond, needs to put a moratorium on tight flaps. I don't get the the little rockets that shoot off the side.
That should be an option for his nickname.
Tight flaps. Tight flaps. All right.
Tight
All right.
flaps, sure.
Okay. We have a bunch of matches, a bunch of title matches that are going to happen tonight. What's your prediction for Reigns versus Owens? Let's just start with the big one. Dave?
Oh, I'm going to go with Roman Reigns to take the Universal title.
Roman Reigns. Yeah, I think I picked Roman Reigns too.
We're not fools.
I will continue my insistence that if they go the route of Owens Jericho, they're better served to put the title in that match. But I think Roman Reigns is the answer. Cena Styles, you just mentioned it. Who do you think is going to win?
AJ Styles.
Oh, that's a strong choice.
I just don't see them doing the big 16th championship in a match like this at the Royal Rumble without much build for it.
But he doesn't break it then, he ties it then, right?
Still, tying Ric Flair is just as big of a deal as later breaking it.
It's as big a deal as they make it. And if they decide to have him tie it tonight and then break it at WrestleMania, then that's, WWE, as with always, the video packages make these historic decisions for us. We have Charlotte versus Bayley tonight. Any chance that Bayley comes out with a surprise win?
No. Charlotte will win.
Absolutely not.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, no way.
She is the pay-per-view. She has the undefeated pay-per-view streak is still intact, right? So I think that's important to carry through at least through WrestleMania. Not quite a 17-time world champion, but it's close. And then we have the cruiserweight match that we talked about earlier too. I think that I really love this feud. I think this is the money feud in the cruiserweight division right now. So maybe they'll hold off a switch for another month. But man, Neville just looks like Neville's ready to be the Ric Flair of the cruiserweight division. They just need to put a belt on him and let guys bounce off him for a while.
Yeah, there's no reason to have Neville take a loss so soon after coming back, so soon after his heel turn. He's clearly the best candidate to hold that belt for the foreseeable future.
Yeah, I think go on an undefeated streak for a year.
Say it again.
With that title, I don't think he loses that title for a year.
Once he gets it.
Yes, and I think he'll win tonight. If you want to build that title up, don't have him lose it for another year.
I don't disagree. I think it's really great. The big match, obviously, for the evening is the Royal Rumble itself. The Royal Rumble match. There are some internet rumors that have been circulating, or at least let's just say the online betting odds. Dave, do you want to fill me in here? You were telling me this as we came on the air.
Yeah, so the online betting odds say that Simon Gotch most likely will win the Royal Rumble.
That's a wow.
No, it's the Viper. It's Randy Orton.
The Viper Randy Orton. The thinking being that they would then put the WWE title onto Bray Wyatt at the Elimination Chamber and then have the Wyatt family explode.
Yeah.
At WrestleMania.
It's similar to your idea of having Owens and Jericho have the belt.
Right.
The belt elevates a feud that wouldn't otherwise be as important.
I mean, I'm not totally opposed to that. I think that the way that Wyatt and Orton managed to elevate the tag titles when the brief time that they had them at the same time as sort of elevating the significance of that storyline, maybe the same thing will happen with the title. I don't know. What do you think?
Unfortunately, I'm gonna have to go with Shill. I want to be wrong in the biggest way. I mean, just to make it interesting, what I hope. If they're going to do this, I hope Wyatt wins, and then Orton wins a chamber, and then Wyatt takes the title off them. That would be a little bit more interesting. But we literally, the smart money and who was being bet on before the Rumble, and there hasn't been a surprise since, WrestleMania 28 since Sheamus won. John Cena won, he was supposed to win. Batista won, he was supposed to win. Roman Reigns won, he was supposed to win. Triple H won, he was supposed to win.
So I think I
would go with Randy Orton because he's supposed to win.
The Royal Rumble is built around the shock factor, right? I mean, the premise of the event is who's going to come out next, and we all count down. And every time we want it to be, the ghost of Macho Man Randy Savage coming to the ring, and then it turns out to be Fandango.
That's interesting. Eugene O'Neill play.
Yeah, but this is why you watch the Ringer Royal Rumble show, guys. I think that it's sort of, you're right. I mean, we've gotten to a point where we're past the element of surprise. With the exception of an AJ Styles, it's never going to quite live up to the expectations that we build in for ourselves.
Dan Black, who has his own wrestling podcast, had the best booking in this. You have AJ Cena open the show, have Cena win, then have AJ go in the first 3 in the Rumble, and then win the Rumble. You would make a mega star that way, but
you
they're
can't
not going to do that.
Yeah, I mean, you end up having to build the whole show around a star, and if it's not, at this point, we're not building stars. We're setting the table for WrestleMania, which is just Roman Reigns and John Cena on parade, right?
That's part of the problem with the Royal Rumble in its current incarnation is that it can't be a stepping stone because it has to be a plot device. It's like with the King of the Ring, there was never a title belt involved or even a number 1 contendership. It was just like, if you won the King of the Ring, you were on your way to the main event.
Sure.
And the Royal Rumble now has to be the way to get someone into that match at WrestleMania, so it can't be an elevation device.
To be more specific, if you win the King of the Ring, you're on your way to a silly throne, and they're going to put a crown on you.
Yeah.
More in a longer term concept, yes, you're going towards the main event. We got a couple of viewer questions that we're going to touch on now. Router33 asks us, are you buying these Goldberg versus the winner of Roman versus KO rumors? I guess the idea is that the winner of Roman versus Kevin Owens is going to take on Goldberg at WrestleMania. There have been some rumors floating around that maybe Goldberg Brock at Mania isn't as solid as it seems. That said, I could see Goldberg versus Roman. We talked about this on the podcast last week on the Masked Man show. I just can't see. I just don't think Goldberg versus KO is a match that any of the bookers there would have much interest in. I mean, it's sort of like you take the most kind of smart fan possible wrestler, and then, all apologies to AJ Styles, and pair him up against the opposite of that, whatever. Just a nostalgia fan.
It could be.
Maybe it would be
match.
interesting.
It could be a good match.
That feels sort of like a Seth Rollins Sting match. Like we'll have that at Backlash, or we'll have that maybe at SummerSlam. Whatever. But that needs a little bit more build.
Yeah.
I think that you're going to see Goldberg get a shot against Reigns at the next pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Because Goldberg's done after Mania, and then Lesnar defeats Mania.
Well, they're not wrestling in the next pay-per-view.
Well, he has one
I
extra
think there's
pay-per-view
one
on
extra
his feet.
pay-per-view.
Oh, he does?
So it'll be Fastlane, assuming that it's not the pay-per-view after WrestleMania. It's before.
All right, next question. Who do you? This is from Rhino184. Probably, we're not sure if this is the real Rhino or not. Who do you book at number 10, knowing the crowd will hijack the spot? That's a great question.
Oh, yeah.
The
Ty Dillinger.
The Ty Dillinger 10 chants are going to be. I mean, I think who knows? Who knows how big, how smarky this fan base is? But judging by the size and volume of the crowd at NXT last night, which was fantastic, by the way, what a
Great
good show.
Yeah, good show.
Do you think who do you think? Do you think they're going to bring in Ty Dillinger just for a one-off?
If
just
I'm allowed to fantasy book it, yeah.
I mean,
Let
it
it
would be
happen.
really fun.
He doesn't need to be in NXT anymore. He's so over that he should be on the main roster.
I got to tell you, when I watch wrestling with with non-fans, the thing that they get into the most is the crowd interaction. And I was watching with my girlfriend last night, and she got so into that Ty Dillinger match because I explained what was going on, and then she was just like, "This is the most fun I've ever had." I mean, it's a real entry point that WWE often overlooks, despite the fact they're always going for the crowd reaction, but that sort of ironic crowd reaction I think is a really wrestling specific, interesting thing. Okay, Adam Moe asks, "Hey fellas, what's your favorite snack for the Rumble?" I'm looking at you, Dan St. He answered the last question. There's nothing.
Very conscious bias.
You're really burying Dan over here.
Yeah, really.
We have some sandwiches over there. There'll be some chip eating later.
Well, last time we had Chipotle here, that was the shit.
I actually asked for. I mean, I'm not even going to go into the food recommendations, but
What did you ask for?
just something more munchable, something more snackable.
He's asking for fruit roll-ups, which is weird.
Who doesn't like fruit roll-ups?
I don't know. As far as Rumble snacking, I mean, I feel like when we sell out like America, like Papa John's, wings, no Thai food, nothing that's remotely exotic. Like whatever they're having in Madison, Wisconsin while watching the Rumble is what Los Angeles, California.
I don't disagree with that, although I can't really sit. I don't think I want to eat any of that stuff and then try to sit in a sofa for 5 hours. I would just go with just call the Thai restaurant and get 100 egg rolls. Spring rolls from the Thai place and just go wild.
Mozzarella sticks would be my answer to this question.
Lactose intolerance is my mortal foil. All right, Olsen 10 asks, surprise entrant you most expect to see, and surprise entrant you most want to see realistically. What do you think, Dave?
Samoa Joe, realistically.
Okay.
Finn Balor is who I want to see.
All right. Well, I mean, also in the realm of possibility, have there been any rumors that I'm missing out on?
Nothing that I can remember off the top of my head, but I do feel like he's not 100%. I mean, we've seen him working out and training and that kind of stuff, but he's been fairly adamant about not being ready.
And in the modern WWE, you got to assume that we would be seeing multiple 2-minute long workout vignettes in the middle of a Sasha Banks match if they were really trying to hype us for his return.
Right. But at the same time, the element of surprise would be the thing that they would want more than even the hype. It's just you don't think it's going to happen.
That's what we think, and then they announce Batista a month early. What do you think, Dan? Who do you want to see most?
I agree. Samoa Joe is
realistic.
The most expected. And there's a lot of cool answers for this, but I think that Samoa Joe's coming is already all right. The cool slot's been taken.
Yeah.
And I'd love to see goofy mid-90s angle guy like Man Mountain Rock or Mantar or
Man Mountain Rock
Duke
is
the
great.
Dumpster Drosy, somebody who people would go, I want that reaction.
That would be.
Even he's too cool, I think. Somebody.
Yeah, I think that's
cool
true.
Should come out.
I think
too cool should come out.
The last time I saw him, he was the tannest white person I've ever seen in my life. He was the color of the chairs that we're all sitting in.
More so than anyone that was on Jersey Shore or Donald Trump?
Yes, it was.
Okay.
It was shocking.
Or Virgil comes out, eliminated, and then he sets up a Virgil merch table right near the ring.
I'm all in. This is great.
Cash only, no square.
I think that the NXT widely or broadly defined, the sort of indie wrestler slot is the really interesting one. I was saying before we went on the air that Bobby Roode might have found his calling to be just the heel champ of NXT for the next 2 years. I hope that we see him on the main roster, but that feels really right for him. Mm-hmm. Nakamura in kayfabe has no business showing up in the Royal Rumble and has unfinished business now in NXT. Not that those two things are mutually exclusive. Samoa Joe was sitting there in the crowd like he's going to take on the winner of the match last night. Although that could be a total misdirect.
And they never said he was going to take on the winner.
Right, but he was there. I guess that's what I assume since he was there. And then there's rumors about a certain New Japan wrestler. If they really want to get some of that, AJ Styles got the big pop last year because the only person on that level really is Samoa Joe that has the big TNA backstory, the built-in national television, and the NXT. Bonus is the NXT hype, but it'll be interesting to see what they do to kind of get that pop out of the smart crowd. And
Dark Horse would be Kurt Angle, but that would kind of be a waste, I think.
Yeah, my fantasy book from the Masked Man show this week was to have his music play and then have him escort one of the members of American Alpha to the ring. Like, so you get the pop and then you set up the storyline and then that's it.
And then people hate American Alpha for the rest of their time. And
listen, they all work. Kurt Angle always worked better as a heel. Maybe the same thing will go for American Alpha.
Guys, you can turn on and see funny Shawn Michaels on the network right now.
Okay, last question from the fans. From Smark261, who is this year's Iron Man? Of all the people in the match, who's gonna last the longest?
Can I say Simon Gotch again?
You can, but we won't take it seriously. We'll kick you off the show.
I don't even think he's in the match. Dean Ambrose again.
I was actually about to say that.
Or Miz.
It's the Intercontinental title of Royal Rumble achievements, right? It's like we're not going to actually let you win unless that's the whole storyline of the match, but we're going to have something that we can talk about after.
It's like the $1 Million Man.
I don't think Cesaro is out of the question. That's sort of his like low-key gimmick the whole time. Sami Zayn, if he's not being detained at an airport right now, I think would be an interesting choice for that.
Come on.
Maybe we make a push for one of the New Day guys at this point too. If somebody comes in the top 10, then if we're gonna have an all the New Day works together to try to win thing, that's gonna last for a while, right? So I don't know. There's a lot of interesting options there. The main reason why you get together with good friends, like I'm doing right now with the Rumble, is to watch wrestling and have a good time. But the most fun thing about the Rumble is the element of surprise, counting down. We're gonna come back after the Rumble, after the pay-per-view, and have a little post-show. But I think there's probably going to be a video camera on us that we're going to release some footage of at some point just to show how much we mark out. But to help the fun that we're having, we're going to engage in the Rumble Jumble. The game that everybody loves playing at home. Maybe you make a little friendly wager with your friends. You all know how this works. We're putting a tiny spin on it. We're going to take this Ric Flair wig.
Oh my God.
Betty White wig.
We have filled it. Well, we got to. The Ringer has a budget here. We have to use things for multiple purposes.
Party City Amadeus.
Yeah. Inside this wig are all of the numbers 1 through 30 on little pieces of paper. We're going to pass this around, draw numbers one at a time, and then whichever numbers you get, whoever comes out in that spot, that's one of your guys. And then, so we each have 10 numbers, I guess, and then whoever wins the Rumble whichever wrestler wins the Rumble, whoever has that number, either wins or loses, depending on the way you look at it. And during the post-show, during the live Ringer Rumble after show, the loser/winner has to wear a Ric Flair robe and this wig. Christian, if you'll come in right now and show off this wig a little bit.
Whoa.
Christian's one of the producers on the show. It's actually not a bad looking robe, man. I think this is a prize.
Looks good on him.
Yeah, I don't know how good that'll look on any of us. And remember, add this wig into the equation.
Final scene in Boogie Nights where everybody dies.
Thank you for that. So we're just going to start off. Listen, because of that, for that joke, I'll let you draw first.
Thanks, David.
Guys, we're not gonna draw all 30 on the air right here.
Now.
Yeah, go ahead and say what you got.
25.
25. That's a good one, man. If you want the robe, you got to be in the top.
28.
No, that's strong.
Winner.
I don't even know. I got number 7. There's really very little chance of me winning that. We're just gonna draw one more round and then head out.
Number 1.
Whoa, that's a 4. That's a 4.
Oh, it's a letter H.
Yeah, come on. We're going to do the rest of this drawing off the air, and then we're going to tweet what we got.
Number 8.
All right, guys, we're going to come back. We're going to come back after the event, another live show. One of us will be wearing a silly Ric Flair costume, and we're going to have a whole lot to talk about. We're going to see who won both WWE the title match and the Universal title match, and who, more importantly, who won the Royal Rumble and where we are on the road to WrestleMania. Guys, thanks for coming. We'll see you in a few hours. Everybody watching this, enjoy this wonderful occasion, the greatest wrestling night of the year, or at least one of the top 5. Apologies to Dean Ambrose. We'll see you later, humanoids.